In 1903, the world was absolutely convinced that humans would never fly. Respected scientists, major newspapers, and even the US government declared that powered flight was impossible. One famous headline even claimed it might take 1,000,000 years. But just a few months later, in a quiet field in North Carolina, two unknown brothers were about to change the course of history forever. Wilbur and Orville Wright weren't famous engineers or wealthy inventors. They were humble bicycle mechanics from Dayton, Ohio. They had no university degrees and zero government funding. All they had was a powerful curiosity and an obsession with solving the problem of flight. While other inventors were focused on building bigger, more powerful engines, the Wrights believed the real secret was control. They spent hours observing birds, watching how they tilted their wings to balance and turn in the wind. This led them to a revolutionary idea: wing warping. It was a system that allowed a pilot to twist the wings to roll the aircraft and maintain stability, just like a bird. To test their ideas, they needed the perfect location. In 1900, they found it in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. The remote beach offered strong, steady winds and soft sand for crash landings, which was great because they crashed a lot. For 3 years, they tirelessly tested and refined their glider designs. When they realized the existing scientific data on flight was wrong, they built their own wind tunnel in their bike shop. Through meticulous testing, they created their own, far more accurate, tables for lift and drag. Every failure was a lesson, bringing them one step closer. Finally, in late 1903, they built the Wright Flyer. It was a fragile machine of wood, wire, and cloth, powered by a small gasoline engine they had built themselves. On the cold, windy morning of December 17th, it was Orville's turn. He lay flat on the lower wing, hands gripping the controls. At 10:35 a.m., the flyer lurched forward and lifted into the air. That first flight lasted only 12 seconds and covered just 120 feet, less than the wingspan of a modern jumbo jet. But it was a true flight, powered, sustained, and controlled. They made 3 more flights that day, with the longest lasting nearly a minute and covering 852 feet. They had done the impossible, but the world didn't seem to care. Local newspapers barely mentioned it, and scientific journals dismissed their claims. When they tried to sell their invention to governments, they were ignored. It took another 5 years of refinement and spectacular public demonstrations in France and America before the world finally woke up and realized what these two brothers from Ohio had achieved. The world said flying would take 1,000,000 years. It took the Wright brothers just 4. The greatest breakthroughs in history often begin with everyone else absolutely certain they will fail. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story,